A deep dive into kep1er. Hey, this is gonna be a new type of video that I'm starting, where I go into different groups or ideas and delve a bit deeper into why things are the way they are, any potential future comments, and more. So first on this series is kep1er. Quick background info. kep1er was formed through Girls Planet 999. It was decided that they would promote for 2 years and 6 months from their debut. They debuted on January 3, 2022 but were formed on October 22, 2021. There are 9 members. Debut. Strong debut in my opinion. There were complaints about the lyricism with the phrase "wadada," which is fair enough. Problems already started to arise with line distributions as Huning Bahia got a staggering 8.69 seconds despite her doing a lot for the group. This was just the debut though, so it was easily excusable. After all, it was one song and they still would have more comebacks in the future, so why worry? They also had some other songs on the mini album which included Movsk, which many really liked. They did not really promote with it, which was a shame though. In terms of numbers, it was a very strong debut and arguably got many fans interested. They got their first win in just 10 days, which is just crazy and was even one of the fastest. As a reference, Blackpink got their first win 13 days after debut, so this was extra phenomenal. Comeback number 1. Up was released on June 20, 2022, a good comeback and was a great summer song. Sales in the first week were about 287,000 compared to that of First Impact, which was about 206,000. This tells us initial anticipation increased, but it was not long enough, as on Spotify streams and on YouTube Up has about a third of the interactions that wadada has. Obviously, I know you don't measure a group's success based on just Spotify streams and whatnot, but it can help us see trends in a group's performance and where they are headed. I think this period of time in summer 2022 was really competitive. There were many groups with comebacks like aespa with Girls, ITZY with Sneakers. Despite many not liking it, it still took attention away from kep1er, or even the debut of New Jeans with Attention. Ironically, this took attention away from kep1er. What next? Next, they released Japanese music, which in my opinion was a wrong move. I am well aware they have 2 Japanese members, so having a Japanese debut would make sense, but I think it was too early. Personally, I didn't like the song. But I don't think it was just me, because compared to other music videos, it was not as well liked. As well as this, they also released a single called Sugar Rush, which did not gain great traction. Aside from this, the ongoing competition between girl groups in the 4th gen was only growing more fierce. So despite efforts made by kep1er, they did not become more popular even with the frequent comebacks. Troubleshooter. Okay guys, forgive me if this is your favorite, but honestly it was one of their worst Korean title tracks. Maybe they attempted to bring back some of that wadada sound, but it didn't work for me. I literally cannot stand it. Sales during the first week were decent. There were about 253,000, which is higher than their debut but not more than the Doubless album. It did not really catch on though, which was quite unfortunate. We Fresh has 7.8 million streams on Spotify and 24 million views on YouTube, which didn't make them great competitors in the 4th gen. Unfortunately, again, timing wasn't great. In October 2022, Nude was released and that got 11 wins. So lots of attention was removed from kep1er. Love Struck. Giddy. This one is complicated. I know it is different to their older sounds. It does feel like a more safe song that coincides with popular styling in the 4th gen. I don't blame their management for doing so. After how the previous comebacks went, a safe option was definitely needed. That being said, I do think the mini album was good, but we'll see how things go from here for them. Currently on Spotify, despite the comeback, wadada is still more popular than Giddy. This means people aren't really listening to it as much. Giddy got 20 million views on YouTube, which is already very close to the 24 million achieved by We Fresh. Concept. Some people attribute kep1er's trajectory with the lack of solid concept. Many were expecting something out of IZ*ONE. Obviously, this isn't their sound. I do think it is part of it, as many like a group to have a certain concept and stick with it, or even vaguely along the same lines. An example of this would be with Idol. Despite their change in the tone of Nude and Queen Card, you still understand that their more recent songs have been about empowerment and other issues, specifically focused on women. You don't really get this same vibe from kep1er. Overall thoughts? I wouldn't count them as flops, but I do believe that timing is a huge issue for the group. Comebacks just tend to happen when other bigger groups are Even in music shows, sometimes you can barely see them on stage. Their overall relevance has gone down due to competition being ever more fierce as well. In the fourth gen, there is so much competition between girl groups. One could even argue other groups which were once more popular have faded into the background. As I said before, this is a new style of video. If you'd like me to do this with any other group, let me know. Hope you enjoyed it.